Genesis 14 is not just a chapter of military conquest and political alliances, it's a treasure trove of lessons about leadership, faith, and the tension between earthly power and divine sovereignty. From the rebellious kings to Abram's bold rescue mission, the chapter reveals profound spiritual truths hidden beneath the surface of history. Every verse, every action in this chapter serves as a mirror to our own lives, showing us the importance of our choices and the unwavering faith we must place in God's promises. Let's dive deep into these verses, uncovering what they truly mean for us today. The chapter opens with a dramatic political conflict. Four powerful kings, Amraphel, Arioch, Chedorlaomer, and Tidal, unite against a coalition of 5 kings in the land of Canaan. For 12 years, the 5 Canaanite kings had been paying tribute to Chedorlaomer, the most powerful among them. But in the 13th year, they rebelled. This seemingly small moment in history is more than just a political act. It speaks volumes about the human desire for freedom and the struggles that come with it. The rebellion of the 5 kings reveals the tension between oppression and the thirst for liberation. It's a reminder of the times we are called to stand firm, even against overwhelming odds, to resist the forces that seek to dominate us. The 4 kings, enraged by the rebellion, march to reclaim their control, engaging in a brutal campaign. They sweep through the land, defeating powerful tribes like the Rephaim and the Emim. With military might, they subjugate and conquer, laying waste to everything in their path. These verses highlight the destructive power of unchecked authority. The kings, who should have wielded their power for justice, instead use it for personal gain, decimating entire nations in the process. In this ruthless pursuit of dominance, they remind us of the dangers of living for self-interest and the ruin that comes when power is used irresponsibly. As the victorious kings reach the valley of Siddim, the 5 rebel kings prepare to fight back. This valley is filled with tar pits, creating a natural trap for any who enter. The clash is fierce, but the forces of Sodom and Gomorrah are quickly overwhelmed. Their armies crumble, many soldiers falling into the tar pits, while others flee in fear. The cities of Sodom and Gomorrah are left unprotected, vulnerable to plunder. The 4 kings seize everything of value, including the people. Lot, Abram's nephew, is captured. Lot's fate is a stark reminder of the consequences of choosing worldly wealth over spiritual wisdom. When Lot first chose to settle near Sodom, he was drawn by the region's fertile land, but in the end, it was his attachment to material gain that led him into captivity. Lot's choice echoes a profound truth. The pursuit of worldly comfort often blinds us to the dangers lurking beneath the surface. Our decisions, though seemingly wise in the moment, can sometimes entangle us in the very things we hope to avoid. Upon hearing of Lot's capture, Abram's reaction is immediate and decisive. Despite Lot's previous choice to live near Sodom, Abram does not hesitate. He rallies 318 trained men from his household and sets out to rescue his nephew. This is where Abram's character truly shines. His willingness to risk his life and resources to save Lot, who had made his own decisions, is a demonstration of selfless love and commitment to family. It's a reminder that true leadership is not about seeking personal gain, but about serving others, especially when it involves sacrifice. Abram's response teaches us about the importance of loyalty and the kind of love that doesn't count the cost. In a world that often asks us, "What's in it for me?" Abram shows us the value of unconditional care for others, even when they may not always make the wisest choices. The rescue mission itself is a study in faith and strategy. Abram divides his forces and attacks under the cover of darkness, catching the enemy off guard. His strategy works, and he pursues the kings all the way to Hobah, north of Damascus. This victory is not just the result of military cunning, it's a testament to Abram's faith and trust in God. The fact that a small group led by Abram could defeat a coalition of 4 powerful kings reveals a deeper truth. The battle is not won by might, but by divine intervention. Abram's victory proves that with God on our side, the odds don't matter. His courage and faith in action remind us that God often works through the unlikely, using our smallest efforts to bring about the greatest victories. As Abram returns from his victory, he is greeted by 2 figures, Melchizedek, the king of Salem, and the king of Sodom. Melchizedek, who is also a priest of God Most High, blesses Abram, saying, "Blessed be Abram of God Most High, possessor of heaven and earth." Genesis 14:19. Melchizedek's blessing is not only a spiritual affirmation of Abram's victory, but also a recognition of God's sovereignty over all things. The blessing serves as a reminder that all victories, whether in the spiritual or physical realm, come from God. Abram, in turn, gives Melchizedek a tenth of everything, acknowledging that all he has, his wealth, his success, his life, belongs to God. This moment reflects the principle of tithing and the importance of recognizing God as the ultimate source of all blessings. In contrast, the king of Sodom offers Abram the spoils of war, asking for the people to be returned while keeping the goods. But Abram, in a powerful display of faith and integrity, refuses. He tells the king, "I will take nothing, from a thread to a sandal strap, that I may not take anything that is yours, lest you should say, 'I have made Abram rich.'" Genesis 14:23. Abram's refusal is a profound act of faith. He refuses to accept anything that might give the king of Sodom the chance to claim credit for his success. This moment highlights the importance of integrity and trusting God rather than relying on the world's resources. Abram's declaration that his wealth comes solely from God is a bold statement of independence from the corrupting influences of the world. It teaches us that true wealth is found not in material possessions, but in the relationship we have with God. In conclusion, Genesis 14 is a chapter rich with lessons for our daily lives. From the choices we make, like Lot's decision to settle near Sodom, to Abram's unwavering faith and loyalty, each verse serves as a guide to navigating a world that often pulls us toward power, wealth, and self-interest. The chapter challenges us to consider our priorities, whether we are living for fleeting gain or for the eternal promises of God. It calls us to reflect on the strength we find not in our own abilities, but in the power of God to work through us. Ultimately, Genesis 14 teaches us the value of faith, integrity, loyalty, and divine provision. It reminds us that, no matter the challenges or the temptations we face, God is always faithful, and with Him we can overcome anything.